Alright, well, greetings and welcome to the unboxing of yet something I always wanted as a child. And it came from a cruise ship. If any of each and everything I said, from unboxing yet another cruise ship model, like those Resin ones you see on the big ships, it's encased within this box. And for a time being that I'm a working adult, I decided that I had the money, I'm going to make the choice, and so I did it. Even if it was a ripoff. So, I'm going to open this up. Even though this was a $100 thing, it was worth it for the fact that I've been on board. Let's just see what it is, and I just hope the order's right. Well, the item is right. I don't even care how I get it out of here. All I care is that it just comes out. See? I told you, all I care is that it just comes out. I don't think this is even a valid coupon anymore, so. I got this out. That's a ship, all right. Here it is, the Monarch of the Seas. So again, here it is, the Monarch of the Seas. You know, I don't even care at this point if this thing's perfect or not. You heard me. I don't care about its imperfections. This was all the most perfect ones that I ever found aboard the Monarch of the Seas. I, in real life, had been on the ship 22 years ago from the time being I record this video. Yeah, really, I've been on the Monarch at that time. It's the Monarch of the Seas. Alright, give you a hint. Multiply this by 4 is how much I got this for. But I didn't care. From the time being I record this video, I was a working adult. I had the money, I chose to make the choice. I purchased this model for the fact that I've been on board. The Monarch of the Seas, that is. You know, I even have an inflatable Monarch of the Seas, even though it's worn out. I name him Salid for some reason. I'm not sure why. I jokingly used to call him Salad because of the fact that he was so skinny. But then I learned my lesson. Don't do that. That's degrading. So anyway, but the Monarch of the Seas here. One thing I can tell you about the Monarch of the Seas is that I was on that cruise from the late January, early February 2003. Of course, cruise that was. And you know what's funny about this ship was that, as you can see here, the Monarch of the Seas, one day during cruising, I hope it was a day at sea. Of course, just me, my mom, and my dad were on the ship. We had an inside cabin, though. I heard that the weather was going to be a little rough. So you know what happened one day? It was really rough, and the ship was doing this much. And next thing you know, we all started vomiting. In fact, half the ship was vomiting. Half the people population on board puked because of the rough sea. And of course, even I did too. Like, sometimes me and my parents, we would hang out in the UFO up here. That's why I call this thing the UFO. And even though the Monarch of the Seas is scrapped in real life, I used to go up here, and I remember the effects started to catch on to me when I was looking out the window here. I was like, let's go back. And then the next thing that happened was, when we got to the cabin, next thing that happened to me, was then I puked. And the bad part was I was laying on my back when I puked. But then, my father was good enough to get me a trash bin, and I was able to puke in it. And of course, to make matters worse, when we were at the dinner table, I puked, and I unfortunately did not get much dinner that night. Then eventually, when we docked at Fort Lauderdale again, I was just glad it was over. I otherwise had a fun trip on the Monarch of the Seas. In fact, I took possession of this model, even though I'm a very materialistic person, because, it's for the fact that I've been on board, as you can see here. You heard me correctly. It's for the fact that I've been on board in real life as a passenger. And of course, when we got back to Fort Lauderdale, I was like, just get me out of the ship. And of course, in December of that year, 2003, I would ride the Azur again. Correction, I would ride the Azur, and only once would I ride the Azur, which was more like a ferry boat than a cruise ship. And so right now, of course, with the Monarch of the Seas in my possession, I'll say I got fortunate enough to possess a Monarch of the Seas model in its perfect condition. I'll say again, perfect condition on my watch. I don't care what imperfections are on it. I don't care how bad it looks. I'll still keep it. Other changes about the Monarch of the Seas was that Pullmantur Cruises eventually took ownership of the ship and called it MS Monarch. And when I looked at videos of the Monarch on YouTube, it looked more blue than the last time I saw it referring to the Monarch of the Seas. Then eventually the Monarch got scrapped. I'm like, yeah, that sucks. Then from there, of course, I'm like, I understand. Old ship. Now with the Monarch of the Seas in my possession now, I'm going to say, of any knowledge and everything I said from a previous video, either it's proven wrong or voila, I had it. I have it for the time being. Otherwise, that's our show. Thanks for watching. If you like, please like and subscribe. We'll see you all around.